There is an ocean of everything you want: success, power, and the most satisfying relationships. It's all available and waiting for you. This is The Zone of Action with your host, Jerold Action Jackson.
Today, the subject of this podcast is chase money, not sex. Chase money, not sex. The discipline that protects your success. Some men lose money in bad investments. Some lose it in business deals gone wrong, but a far greater number lose it, along with their reputation, influence, and future, because they couldn't control themselves when sexual temptation came calling. It's not a popular topic. Most people don't want to admit it happens, and those who've been burned by it would rather you not bring it up. But if we're going to talk honestly about success, we have to talk about what kills it. And unmanaged lust has killed more dreams than economic downturns ever have. This isn't about demonizing sex. Sexual desire is natural. It's one of the most powerful forces in human biology. But like fire, if you don't control it, it will burn down everything you've built. The truth is simple. If you're chasing sex, you're not chasing success. And the faster you understand that, the faster you can protect your wealth, your name, and your future. The Kirkland story. It was late summer in Baker, Louisiana, the kind of humid day where the air feels heavy on your skin. Kirkland was sitting in the corner booth of a little cafe he liked, sipping coffee and reviewing the final paperwork for his big deal. A $645,000 contract that had taken months to line up. He could see the finish line. A few more signatures, a few final confirmations, and the money would hit. He'd already started imagining what came next. Paying off debts, reinvesting into his business, maybe even finally buying the truck he'd been eyeing. For a man who had hustled his whole life, this was going to be the payoff. And then she walked in. She didn't just walk in. She arrived. Every head turned, even the ones pretending not to. She had that confident stride, that smile that hinted she knew she was being watched. Kirkland tried to keep his eyes on the papers, but curiosity got him. He glanced up, just a quick look, and she caught it. "Hey," she said, pausing at his booth. "Is that seat taken?" Kirkland hesitated. No, go ahead." Over the next hour, they talked. She was easy to be around, funny, charming, with a way of making you feel like you were the only man in the room. She asked about his business, about the deal, about his dreams, and when she laughed at his jokes, it wasn't polite. It was full, warm, the kind of laugh that makes a man feel 10 feet tall. They started seeing each other. Lunches turned into dinners into late-night conversations. Kirkland was busy with the deal, but she became the thing he looked forward to most in the day. Then came the night she shifted the conversation. "I hate to even ask you this," she began, looking down at her hands like she was embarrassed. "But I'm in a situation, and I don't know who else to turn to." "What kind of situation?" Kirkland asked, leaning forward. She took a deep breath. "My boyfriend, my ex, he's in jail." "It's not what it sounds like. He's a good man who just made a mistake. And they set bail so high I can't even dream of paying it." Kirkland felt a twinge. "Wait, your ex?" "Yes, my ex," she repeated quickly. "I'm not with him anymore, but I can't just let him rot in there. He doesn't have anybody else. I thought maybe..." She trailed off, biting her lip like the words hurt to say. Kirkland's brain knew this was trouble. His gut told him to walk away. But his pride and the part of him that wanted to be her hero overrode it. "How much is the bail?" he asked. She hesitated as if she didn't want to scare him off. "Enough that I feel crazy asking. 50,000. it was a fraction of what he was about to make. He told himself it was nothing, that he'd still close the deal, still get paid, still come out ahead. He told himself this would bond them, make her see he was different from all the other men in her life. So he wired the money. 2 days later, her calls got shorter. Then she stopped answering. A week later, he heard from a mutual acquaintance she was back with her ex, the man he just paid to get out of jail. And the deal? The $645,000. The money he'd pulled from his reserves to bail the boyfriend out was the same money he needed to finalize the contract. Without it, the other side lost confidence. The opportunity evaporated. Kirkland didn't just lose money. He lost his future, his momentum, his credibility. All for a woman who never intended to be his. Kirkland's story is dramatic, but it's not unique. Every day, men throw away opportunities, investments, and years of hard work because they let their sexual urges overrule their ambition. The moral? If you can't control your desire, someone else will control you with it. How sexual distraction derails ambition. There's a reason sexual temptation feels so powerful. Biologically, it's supposed to. Sexual desire is hardwired into the human brain as a survival mechanism. It's fueled by dopamine, testosterone, and adrenaline, chemicals that make you feel alive, confident, and motivated. The problem? That same brain chemistry can hijack your decision making. Here's how it happens. 1. Attention shift. Your mental bandwidth moves from work deals and long-term plans to the pursuit of pleasure. 2. Short-term thinking. You start making impulsive decisions to get the girl rather than playing the long game. 3. Risk blindness. The thrill overrides the warning signs. You ignore what your gut and sometimes your friends, what they're telling you. 4. Opportunity cost. Time spent chasing is time not spent building. Opportunities vanish while you're distracted. When you're under the influence of desire, it's not that you suddenly become stupid. It's that your focus shifts to winning a game that doesn't pay like the one you were already winning. Real world situations. We've all seen the headlines, powerful men in politics, business, sports, and religion. Their fall from grace tied to sex scandals, affairs, or inappropriate relationships. Without naming names, here are some all too common patterns. The political collapse. A leader gets caught in an affair and suddenly the conversation shifts from policy to scandal. Approval ratings tank, endorsements dry up, and a once promising career ends in resignation. The CEO's downfall. A high-powered executive crosses professional boundaries with an employee. HR investigates. The board steps in and he's out. Not because the company stopped making money, but because his actions became a liability. The athlete's brand destruction. A superstar athlete gets exposed for multiple affairs. Sponsors pull out, fans turn, and his focus shifts from training to damage control. The religious leader's fall. A faith leader engages in misconduct and loses the trust of the congregation. Years of building influence crumble overnight. The everyday professional's mess. A manager starts an affair with a coworker. The relationship ends badly. Rumors spread, and suddenly promotions and opportunities vanish. The common thread: these men were all winning until they let lust dictate their moves. Napoleon Hill's sexual transmutation. Napoleon Hill, in Think and Grow Rich, didn't say to suppress sexual desire. He said to transmute it, to channel that same energy into ambition, creation, and achievement. Here's how it works. 1. Recognize the energy. When you feel the pull, don't react impulsively. Pause and notice it. 2. Redirect it. Channel that emotional intensity into your goals. So, your business, your art, your fitness. 3, build something. Use that extra drive to push harder, work longer, and think deeper. 4, avoid triggers. Keep your environment and social circle free of unnecessary temptation. Hill called sexual energy creative energy. The same drive that makes you want to chase someone can make you chase a deal, a project, or a dream if you control it. Focus in your inner circle. Your inner circle will make or break you. If you surround yourself with people who live for the next hookup, the next party, or the next conquest, you will eventually think that's normal. And normal becomes acceptable. But if you surround yourself with people who are building, creating, investing, and winning, people who value discipline over distraction, you'll start seeing that as the standard. Driven, positive people won't applaud you for throwing away a $645,000 deal over a woman you barely knew. They'll tell you the truth. They'll remind you what's at stake. They'll pull you back to the bigger picture, the action plan, how to chase money, not sex. Here's how to protect your success from sexual distraction. 1, set non-negotiables. Decide now what you will and will not do. Put it in writing if you have to. 2, have accountability partners, friends or mentors who will call you out if you're slipping. 3, stay busy building. Idle time is dangerous. Fill your schedule with productive work. 4, control your environment. Limit situations where temptation is high. 5, remember the cost. Keep stories like Kirkland's in your mind as a warning. The discipline that pays. Kirkland didn't lose his deal because the economy collapsed. He didn't lose it because of bad business strategy. He lost it because he put lust over logic, sex over success. And the truth is, many men, famous and unknown, have made the same mistake. You have a choice. You can chase short-term pleasure that costs you everything. Or you can chase wealth, freedom, and the life you've been building for years. Chase money, not sex, because money wisely earned gives you options, and discipline keeps those options yours. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter, JeroldJax. On Facebook, Jerold, Action Jackson, and Zone of Action. Check out the website, JeroldJackson.com. Happiness starts with you. Not with your relationship, not with your job, not with your money, but with you in the zone of action.